I won't miss. Rain down, sword of flowers.
What's going on, guys? We're back with another Epic 7 video. Today we're going to go over Summertime Iseria. But before we can get into Summertime Iseria, we got to go over her artifact, Star of the Deep Sea. Now, if you're planning on playing Summertime Iseria, unfortunately you need to have this artifact maxed at 30 out of 30 in order to get Iseria's full potential unleashed. Without it, if you only have one copy of it, you're going to be only getting a 50% chance to proc her bombs on her S1, which is a huge part of her kit. If you aren't proccing bombs, then you're basically doing no damage. So with that out of the way, just keep in mind, without that 30 out of 30, you're not going to be getting the full potential out of her, and it might not be worth pulling right now. Alrighty, guys, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about Summertime Iseria now. So we're going to go over her skills, we're going to go over her imprint release, see if it's important to pull more of those copies. We're going to go ahead and preview her stats and check them out. And then we're going to go ahead and go over her gear set, see what kind of gear you need for her. And then we will go ahead and say what my opinion is on if we should pull her right now or should we wait for some other units that are coming out very soon. So let's go ahead and start off with her stats. Her stats are 115 speed, which is pretty much mid-range, I'd say. It's nothing insane, it's nothing too low, nothing too high, which is perfect because she's meant to follow up right after your openers, such as right after a Ran or a Peyra. And her attack is pretty high as well, which will go even higher after you read her skills. Now, let's go ahead and go over her S1. Her S1 attacks the enemy with swords with a 75% chance, if it's max molad, to dispel 2 buffs. And her soul burn grants an extra turn. Everybody knows granting an extra turn is amazing. So remember, with her artifact, this skill actually reads, attacks the enemy with 2 swords with a 75% chance to dispel 2 buffs, and then plants a bomb at a 100% chance. So that's the reason why that artifact is important, is because you get that 100% chance to plant the bomb. And then you get an extra turn, and then you can plant another bomb. Now, let's go ahead and read over her S2 now. Attacks increases by 35%, up to 50% chance, or up to 50% when max molad. When attacking, cannot trigger a critical hit, which works with her artifact, as well as makes her way easier to build. You no longer need crit chance and crit damage, so all you need is attack and speed and effectiveness. After an ally, except for the caster, uses an attack that targets all enemies, activates Suppress. Can only be activated once every 3 turns. Suppress increases combat readiness of all allies by 15% and plants a bomb on 2 random enemies for 2 turns. So that's what I mean by, like, her speed is perfect for her job because that little S2 right there. So she meant to follow right after your Ran with a little 15% speed difference. So you don't have to worry about having her insanely fast, but you still want her to be like the second fastest unit on your team, or a little bit slower, at least within that 15% range. That way she can take a turn right after the opener. If not, make sure you've got a bridge unit, such as like a Challenger Dominial, who can further boost her to make sure she gets that turn. Even though she doesn't crit, that little Challenger Dominial boost will then give her her turn. That's just an example of what we call a bridge unit. Now, the third skill is Sword of Flowers, which the animation, I have to say, I love the animation for the skill as well. Sword of Flowers attacks all enemies with Swords of Flowers, decreasing attack for 2 turns, and increases the speed of the caster for 2 turns. At the end of the turn, detonates bombs inflicted on the enemy. Now, as you see, this skill does not actually place any bombs, so that's why you need to make sure you either have triggered your S2 first, or if we remember, her S2 also gives you a free soul burn, so you'll be soul burning your S1, so you'll at least be getting 1 bomb. If you have done nothing else, you'll get that free soul burn bomb right there. What is going to be the combo with her? Because she is a cleave unit, so you need to keep in mind that you actually do kind of need to have her with a synergistic team. So a great example combo with her is Ran. Ran is going to go ahead and cleave the enemy team, stripping them of all their buffs, hitting them with that defense break, and then since he AoE attacked everyone down, it will pop Iseria's suppression or suppress, And then that'll boost the entire team by 15% and planting 2 random bombs. So now everybody's defense broken, damaged quite a bit by Ran, and has 2 bombs on 2 random enemies. So the ideal way to have it is with 2 books. So you can soul burn the Ran S3 and then soul burn Summertime Iseria. Now, why do you want a book on your team? Is because the soul burn, yes, the first one is free, so you'll have 3 bombs total. But if you want to get 1 bomb on every unit, then you're going to ideally need an extra book to get her another soul burn that you pay for. So the combo again, Ran cleaves them all using 1 soul burn to guarantee a defense break on everyone. Then Iseria gets a free soul burn with her passive, puts a bomb on somebody that doesn't have a bomb. Then with another book that you have, so ideally you have 2, if not 3 might be fine as well. Then you can place a 4th bomb on either a very tanky unit such as a Ravi or another unit that doesn't have a bomb. And then you S3 blow up the whole team, and whoever does not get blown up gets stunned, and then your 3rd and 4th unit will most likely be able to finish them off while they're stunned. Now all that sounds very insane, right? A very easy cleave, very easy geared unit. Now the only downside to her, like I said, is that artifact. So if you're hurting for artifacts, you don't have a lot of powder, unfortunately you might need to hold off on using Iseria for a while. But other than that, Iseria is actually a really good cleave unit. I really enjoy using her a lot. Now, what kind of gear are we going to be needing for her? I recommend using a speed set, obviously. And for the second piece, honestly, the second piece can be whatever you have that has your highest speed and attack, in my opinion. So whether that be a broken set, or whether that be ideally an effectiveness or immunity set, in my opinion. But ideally, prioritize the stats more so than the secondary effect. So if you have perfect gear on anything, I say go ahead and go for immunity gear. If you are a little bit low on effectiveness, then go ahead and pop in that hit set. Otherwise, broken set is perfectly a-okay as well. Now, with all that said, with how good I think she is, I do honestly think she's one of the best cleaving units in the game. Do I think she is worth the pull right now? And ultimately, unfortunately, I have to say she's not worth the pull right now if you do not have Swimsuit Bologna or you do not have enough bookmarks saved to be pulling the new Summertime unit, because normally the Summertime units are really, really good. The only exclusion to that is Holiday Euphine, because Holiday Euphine was specifically made to counter Basar, and Basar no longer is used, so now Holiday Euphine's not used. So most likely the new Summertime unit will be insane, so keep that in mind before you waste all your bookmarks on Iseria. And again, if you're an early game player, I say skip on Summertime Iseria. She does look cool, she is really nice, but early game players are going to struggle to use her in PvP and not really find a place for her in PvE. So with that in mind, I say early game players, skip them. Late game players, skip them, unless you've got extra bookmarks. So unless you've got enough summons for the Summertime unit that will also be coming out soon. Now, hopefully Smilegate will announce the skills of the new unit coming out. That way you can say a little bit more certain, because I'm just speculating that the new unit's going to be better. But like I said, this unit is going to eat up a lot of your bookmarks right here, and I'm just a little nervous about wasting a lot of bookmarks knowing that another Summertime unit will be coming out very soon. However, if you do have enough bookmarks for 2 pities, go for her 100%. She's definitely a very fun unit and a very good cleaver unit, but ultimately she is not needed on your account. So she's more of a luxury unit, as I would say, because ultimately there's another character in the game that does her job and is much easier to get, and that's Ida. You could just use Ida instead. She has very similar cleaving capabilities, and there's also other cleavers in general you can use, like BBK or something like that. So Summertime Iseria is not 100% needed. So with that in mind, final verdict on her is going to be a skip, unless you've got the extra bookmarks to waste on her. Then you could go ahead and use it, because she's not a bad unit by far. It's just there's a lot more better units coming out, like Swimsuit Bologna if you're an early game player, and possibly even the new swimsuit unit coming out soon. And you don't want to waste your bookmarks only to have a new swimsuit unit come out and be broken, and then you are not gonna have the bookmarks to summon her. That's all I've got for you guys today. Tomorrow I'll be most likely coming out with a video going over some of the MLs. Maybe we'll talk about Sermia, who, spoiler alert, you shouldn't be pulling because she's free. But other than that, let me know if you guys have any other ideas that I should make some videos on, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.